Hello and welcome to the UK and Ireland Minnesota Vikings Fan Club podcast. I am your host and fan club co-president, Big Deal Rich, and I'm joined tonight by two.
Basically, it's the two you could find who wanted to do it.
the two stooges that agreed to talk about yesterday's game. I am joined by fellow co-president and show producer, Mr. Reece Field, and content editor, Mr. Tom Parry Jones. Say hello, gentlemen.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello, gentlemen, indeed. What are we going to talk about in this episode? Of course, we had a little game against the Green Bay Packers yesterday that we're going to have to talk about. We have to talk about it, unfortunately.
Do we have to?
We've got a choice. We have to relive that horrific game. We are also going to talk about Thanksgiving. Americans love Thanksgiving. For us, it's just another day in July. Another day in...
wrong holiday.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not what it means to us. It's just another day.
Not even Canadian Thanksgiving is in July.
It's just another day in November. For some reason, I like it more than Christmas. Who likes anything more than Christmas? Weird. And then we're going to talk about the future. I've very thankfully just watched Back to the Future with my young daughter. It's the first time she's been able to watch Back to the Future because it's the first time she's been grown up enough to watch Back to the Future. And we're going to talk about the future now. We're going to talk about maybe going back and forward and what we're going to do. What we're going to do immediately is break some news. Breaking news. By the time this is out on YouTube, it might not be so breaking, but JJ McCarthy is under concussion protocol. TPJ, tell us what that usually means.
So there's a battery of tests that a player will have to go through to be cleared to play again after suffering a traumatic head injury. And obviously McCarthy suffered one, we think, in the fourth quarter of yesterday's game, just before he threw the second interception. And like you could see, it completely that pick completely sailed on Jalen Naylor. I wouldn't be surprised if that was partly down to JJ McCarthy seeing double. But yeah, like I say, he has to pass some medical tests to be cleared to play again. Until then, Max Brosmer will be the man taking snaps in the first team offense. And I think, Rich, you've been quite excited to see young Max. In fact, you're wearing the Minnesota Golden Gophers apparel today, and obviously Max was it. Yeah, Max was a Gopher once upon a time.
I've gone full Max. Reece, I know you'll have watched quite a lot of Max, being a massive Golden Gophers fan. I only just recently realised that DAZN, or DAZN, whatever you want to pronounce it, they actually play the NCAA for free. You can watch it for free, all of their games, on a Saturday. So I've been watching quite a lot of college ball this year. The reason I wanted to see Max was because I didn't want to see Carson Wentz. This is a slightly different situation in that I will get onto it later, but I still think that JJ McCarthy has shown me enough to make me believe he can be an NFL quarterback. He just needs game time. He needs minutes. He needs reps. I don't want him not to play. I don't want Max to come in because he can't play, put it that way. But the roster's looking thin. Reece, you
don't want John Walford playing either.
No, you don't. I mean, to be fair, I've said this last week. I'm definitely better than Justin Fields at football. And if Justin Fields is better than, what was his name again? I don't even know his name.
John Walford.
John Walford at football, then de facto, if I'd brought some cleats to Minnesota, I might have got myself a game. But Reece, you know more about college ball than I do. What do we expect out of Max Brosmer?
Quick release. The ball is going to come out the hands fast. You're talking two-step drop back, ball out the hands. It's good though. It's something kind of missed on the weekend. But he's also someone who's not afraid to try and fit the ball into a tight window. He won't do it with the zipper JJ McCarthy. There's going to be, a bit of adjustment for the guys in practice this week, realizing that they don't need some old-fashioned 1970s stick 'em on their hands to be able to hold on to the football. Instead, it's going to come at a more of a reasonable pace, shall we say. But I mean, I like Max Brosmer. He's played a lot more football than JJ McCarthy. And I think the only thing is, we just have to say, what if he's really good?
If
He's
really
against
good,
a good,
great.
really good defense. If he wins this weekend, what the heck do we do now, sort of thing.
Well, it's a no-lose situation because, like, if you find you've got a diamond in the rough, like this undrafted rookie quarterback who he could be the next Kurt Warner.
Yay!
Yeah.
So gets a Netflix
That's
movie
something
in
to be
30
really
years.
excited about. The guy went from bagging groceries in a supermarket to playing in NFL Europe to winning a Super Bowl with the St. Louis Rams. And he was part of the greatest show on turf.
I get that.
And I met him a
get
couple of weeks ago.
Did you? Did you shake hands?
I did, yeah. I got a selfie.
Do you still? Did you? If you haven't passed me across Jamie Erdahl's number yet, after the show. Just remember, you need to give me that. Yeah, I'm not disappointed that Max is going to get to play football because.
Well, if McCarthy doesn't clear concussion protocol, we have to, of course, add that caveat.
Okay, we'll add a caveat. If by some small miracle JJ McCarthy does not clear concussion protocol, I mean, Van Ginkel was out for like 4 weeks with concussion. Tua is constantly in concussion protocol.
I think Gink was out for a couple of weeks. But then it was the neck injury. I don't think it was.
It was the neck.
But Ryan Kelly's been out for forever with his.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. I am under no illusion that because we're Seattle next, aren't we?
Yeah, we are this coming Sunday, and we'll obviously talk about that later.
Does anyone want, if you're Kevin O'Connell and JJ McCarthy can come back and practice in limited fashion or full fashion on Friday, do you want to throw your underperforming rookie quarterback into a game against your 14-2 previous quarterback? No.
I'm sorry.
Not if his brain's made of soup.
If you can't come in and execute a game plan because you had a dodgy ankle and had limited practice for 1 or 2 days in the week, then absolutely not do you put a guy in with a concussion earlier in the week. I mean, we've all probably had concussions at some point, and I can tell you from my experience that going and playing regular association football 2 weeks later was a terrible idea. It's probably why
I'm be working at that point, like doing a desk job.
It's horrendous.
I'm looking forward to Max playing because at the end of the day, it's somewhat a bit different. I think we're going to talk about it in a bit, but I think we've all come to a bit of fatigue with the Vikings at the moment, and I don't think it's anything. I don't think it's just JJ McCarthy. Put it that way.
Well, let's go around the grounds then, shall we? Let's talk about what happened over the course of the weekend, and then we can get back into Vikings Packers.
There's been some more crazy results over the weekend. Tell us what they were, Tom.
Oh no, I'll let Reece do it today. He's back.
It's my job this week. It's my job this week.
I apologize.
I only do it when Reece isn't here.
Go for it, Reece.
And Daz only does it when there's no Tom or myself. Anyway. Thursday night football, and he said Thursday night football. That's a good start to concussion protocol.
Thursday night football was last night for us.
Yeah. So the Buffalo Bills continued their tradition of not winning in Houston, losing 19-23. The New York Jets continue their tradition of losing, going back to losing this week against the Baltimore Ravens, 10 points to 23. The Chicago Bears continue to fraud their way into the playoffs, this time beating Mason Rudolph. Rudolph only really shows up in December, so of course they got in and played him in November. The New England Patriots continue to win. They are extending their lead across top of the AFC East, 26-20. New York Giants. Jameis Winston's fun. Okay, I'm looking forward to that game, and I really, for all the right reasons, I don't want Jackson Dart back. To face.
Did you see the interview? Did you see the interview that Winston did where he said, "I'll play tight end if I have to"?
Yeah, he can play it after the way he broke a tackle last night.
Like
watch the highlights of that game. Just watch the highlights of that game if you haven't, because fantastic game of football. But Detroit, unfortunately, winning 34-27. The Kansas City Chiefs won a nail biter at home to the Indianapolis Colts, but I think Indianapolis is showing they can hang with the best. They are contenders. The Seattle Seahawks continue to look like the best team in the NFC, in my opinion. Sam Darnold is cooking. The defense looks outstanding. Jackson Smith and Jigba is probably, there's probably a point in his life where he thought, I really hope I don't ever have to play with Sam Darnold. And now he loves it every week. I can assure you of that. The where are we next? The 9 p.m. slate, Jacksonville beating the Arizona Cardinals. Can't say I really know what happened in that one. Didn't pay any attention to it. Cleveland,
really odd game.
Cleveland Browns beat Las Vegas Raiders despite Jerry Jeudy's best attempts to ruin that one for his teammates. Don't even know what he was doing there. Watch that highlight and investigate his DraftKings account, as they said. Dallas beat Philadelphia. Oh, of all the times the Cowboys find form, it's coming into Thanksgiving where they'll inevitably lose. And
coming up to a game against us.
Yeah, that's true. And then Kirko beat the Saints. Mind you, he beat the Saints a lot as a Viking, and the Saints are not even close to being that team that they were when he was a Viking. Sunday Night Football, Tampa Bay, LA Rams. I don't even want to know what happened there. Just it seems like the Buccaneers look good against everyone who's not a great team, and the LA Rams are a great team.
I was going to say the Rams. The Rams have got to be the other best team in the NFC right now. It's the Rams and the Seahawks for me.
What it was last year in the NFC North with the Vikings and the Lions, this year it's that in the NFC West. And the NFC South will never take a turn in that rotation.
No.
And then Monday Night Football.
It's super happening.
Fantastic, that one. Carolina at the San Francisco 49ers. I honestly have no idea where this is going to go because Bryce Young looked like a world beater last week, but then has looked terrible in other weeks. The 49ers are getting healthier and healthier, so I'm going to go with a bit of a Monday night slugfest, 14-17 in favor of the 49ers.
It's not a bad call. Not a bad call. I think the 49ers will probably win that game. What are the Cowboys doing? Someone asked me last week, they said, new to the game, who's good in American football this season? And I went, I don't know. I've got absolutely no idea. And the only truthful answer, I thought the Eagles are all right. I thought the Eagles are sort of grinding out some results. They don't look great. They don't look flashy, but then they go 21-0 up against the Cowboys and lose. So,
and they lost to the Giants earlier this season as well. Like they seem to be prone to losing in division games, but
I just thought that they were. I just thought they were finding their feet, if you like. Like I say, not flashy. I mean, the Ravens have gone in 1 month as total non-contenders, never going to win their division, to now top of their division, and the Colts got beat by a faltering Kansas City Chiefs, who got beat by the Broncos last week. The Broncos might be good. I don't know. The Bills did we think they were good? Maybe, and now they're not good again. I don't know. This just
the Bills are always good up until when they play Kansas City, and if they win against Kansas City, they fall off, or if they lose to Kansas City, they usually are out the NFC or the AFC at the championship game.
Have you seen the meme of I think it's Dwight from The Office, and the woman like who sneaks up like
Andrea,
next to him.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's like when the Steelers were 5-1 and the Ravens were like 1-5. Like she's just off in the background, and then all of a sudden, like she's right next to him, both at 6 and 5, and he's like, "Jesus Christ!"
Stupid Steelers couldn't beat the Bears last night. The Bears are not good. No.
I mean, they beat us. I mean, anyone can beat us.
They've had an incredibly easy schedule because they finished 4th in the division last season.
Correct.
Long term tactics there.
Caleb looks
until Max
Crosby
comes in and just ruins it all and gets us to the playoffs.
Can't play good teams if you finish bottom of your division.
Anyway, we're gonna ruin knee-jerk reactions. It won't be so knee-jerk. In fact, Reece, I'm coming to you first. I think you've got a speech prepared.
Has he written a poem again?
No, I'm not. No, the Christmas poem will wait till Christmas. I have no idea where I'm going with that one this year. Anyway, my knee-jerk reaction is it's okay. It's okay to be mad. It's okay to reach for the positives. It's okay to turn the TV off and go
S Club 7 then.
No, It's okay to turn the TV off and say F this, because that's exactly what I did with 7 minutes and 42 seconds remaining in the game last night. It's okay to want to bench JJ McCarthy. It's okay to want to keep him in and let him fight for his job over the next 6 games. It's okay to want a new coach. It's okay to want a new GM. It's okay to trust in them both. It's okay to not watch for the rest of the season, and it's okay to insist on watching until the very last snap, because that's what being a sports fan is. You get your chance to cast your opinion over things you have no control over, because we can't control it. I have no more control over my team than a Packers fan has, who dresses like an idiot with a road owner straight across a piece of foam cheese. Just because you can't control things, it doesn't mean you can't. Just because you can't control it, though, doesn't mean that you also can't let it affect you, because you invest your time into it, you invest your money into it, and inevitably it becomes a part of what makes you you. But just don't bottle it up. Don't let it ruin your week. Talk to someone. Talk to us. This podcast, for me, people listen to us talking mostly nonsense, like I probably am now.
How dare you?
But it's something that we all love to do. And on a Monday
to
night,
mind if you have to.
When we sit down on a Monday night, this becomes therapy in a way for us. And I've had a couple of weeks away. It's been tough. I've not felt well, and this is something I've dearly missed doing. So I'm, glad to be back, and it's, it is therapy for me. It's helping me get through this crappy Vikings season. But, I'm digressing here. My point is that, we all support the Vikings, and really, we know this team has more ups and downs than any other team in football. Ups and downs, life, and no matter how much money the NFL put into the game, it's still a game. Life goes on, and that's why we're here.
I've got 2 points to that. One, it's a really, really important game. But no, it is just a game. And as a lifelong faltering Sunderland fan who got 18 minutes on the bingo card, as a lifelong faltering Sunderland fan, you have to take these things as it's just sport, it's just a game, because otherwise it will eat away at you. The second thing is, it's nice to know that sitting down with me on a Monday makes your week brighter, Reece.
You're not always here, so
cause and effect,
yeah. There is a follow-up therapy session when you're here,
especially when you're in Minnesota. That doesn't help.
But I'm going to throw over at you, TPJ. Give us your knee-jerk reaction to whatever we saw yesterday.
Well, can I first say that if that was Reece's knee-jerk reaction, I think you might need to have his sympathetic nervous system checked out. Look, a knee-jerk reaction, like, obviously there's nothing worse than losing to your biggest rivals. Literally nothing worse. And but then there's, like, you can break it down into categories. Nothing worse in football. What makes it this worse is, like, feeling that we never had a chance. And trying to persist with JJ McCarthy. And I like, look, if coaching was easy, I would do it, but it isn't. And the task ahead of Kevin O'Connell and his coaching staff, Wes Phillips, the quarterback's coach, etc., it's so big, so big, to take a guy who you drafted up or traded up in the draft to pick. To get him to even a passable standard, because he's not at a passable standard right now. And I know using the word passable for a quarterback is quite funny, but like, he's ranked. Let me see what I need to check what the number was. He's 800. He's 853rd out of 854 in expected points added per dropback. Among qualified passers since 2000, in a season, I think, and yeah, I don't think it's in a game, because it's since 2000, so it's 25 years of quarterbacks. The only player ranked lower than him is 2009's Jamarcus Russell, who Reece reminded me didn't used to watch tape. So the fact that JJ McCarthy is the worst of the quarterbacks who actually watch film and try to be good is embarrassing.
I think the most shocking thing about that is you also have to remember during the pandemic, I think it was the Ravens, or it might have been the Broncos, started a wide receiver at quarterback. I want to think it's just a game, and this was just a really bad game. Because no matter how you try and sugarcoat it, 4 yards of total offense in the second half. I said earlier, when Rich and I we were in a bit of debate over, whose fault was the first interception. It's just there's a line, and at least when Kirk Cousins played for us, we had some garbage time touchdowns to cheer about. You very rarely got a game where Kirk Cousins only put 6 points up on a scoreboard. And that coming from 2 field goals, each of over 50 yards. By the way, I know we're not doing boy done good, boy done bad this week, but Will the Thrill, I don't think, I heard it on Purple Insider after the game, and it's not that, I can't disagree. I don't think I've ever seen a better kicker in my life. That was automatic. That was a 59-yard chip shot, pretty much, wasn't it? It was phenomenal.
He's going to miss every attempt next week now, isn't he?
Commentator's curse. He has. I think he's got, out of the top 6 longest field goals in Vikings history, he's got 5 of them. It's he's pretty ridiculous. Obviously,
he's also got
Greg Joseph, is it not? The other one is Greg Joseph.
Yeah. Well, that's the longest.
Lions.
Yeah, but JJ, I'm obsessed with JJ McCarthy. I've got JJ McCarthy derangement syndrome. Will Reichard has the most field goals of 50 yards or more through the first 2 seasons of an NFL career, with 15. Did I say most? Second most. The only player with more is Brandon Aubrey, who had 24. But Will Reichard still has like 6 or 7 weeks left of this season, so he can add to that number and potentially.
And with our quarterback play, it's not. We're not
going to be getting into the red zone. We're not getting in the red zone, boys.
And considering if I worked at a petrol station and he tried to buy beer off me, I would ask him for identification. This is a stellar.
Oh, have you seen he's got some upper lip hair coming in?
No. I'm not. I mean, is he giving me McLovin vibes?
A little bit of stubble, on the upper lip.
I love him. I absolutely love him. He's a shining light in the Vikings organization at the moment. My knee-jerk reaction to the game is everything is an absolute mess. I slightly disagree with you in terms of we were never in the game, because the first half, I'm going to jump around all sorts of places at the moment. Last week, we said, should we just let JJ McCarthy fall over and smash his face into the floor over and over again until he learns? For some reason, Kevin O'Connell went this week, let's not do that. Let's just try not to lose the game instead of trying to win it. So what he did instead was he handcuffed JJ McCarthy. He decided to not play a Kevin O'Connell game and went super game management. Don't scramble with the ball. Just throw it 2 yards over the center. We don't want anything aggressive. Ooh, you threw a 25-yard pass to Justin Jefferson there. Can you please not do that again? It was just all a bit calm, easy, and from a horrific pass interception, PI call from the referee on the first Green Bay touchdown, and possibly the most stupid decision from anyone who's ever played the game ever, where Price decided to head the ball in his own 5-yard box. If we hadn't given those 2 things away, do Green Bay score in the first half, or do they look a little bit like us? Maybe they look a little bit like us. I don't think we were completely out of the game in the first half. Not that it was pretty to watch, but we weren't completely out of the game in the first half. And then we come in and we were awful, absolutely dreadfully awful. Everything we did was dreadful, from play calling to JJ McCarthy to protection to getting injured. Everything that we could have possibly done badly, we did it worse than what you thought we could have done.
I found it so funny. Kevin O'Connell said after the game, there was just some really bad football. I'm like, are you talking about this game or the whole season?
This is the thing. I want to come to the defense of a couple of points there. First of all, the refs. I think it was PI, because Josh Metellus never got his head around. He did hold the guy. The thing is, the ball was so far over Luke Musgrave's head, he probably thought JJ McCarthy threw it. It was like, it wasn't good. It wasn't pretty. But I thought Kevin O'Connell called a perfect game plan for a guy's first game at Lambeau Field when he's not playing well. You give him stuff that should be easy completions. You give him stuff that should be his strength.
But that's not his strength.
But the thing is, it just. I mean, first of all, Jordan Mason, fantastic. Aaron Jones, fantastic. Offensive line looked really good. JJ McCarthy had loads of time to throw, apart from when Micah Parsons just does Micah Parsons things, which you just can't stop. That's one of the top 5 players in the NFL on the defensive side of the ball. He's going to sometimes do that to you, even if your name's Christian Darrisaw. Hope he's not injured. We'll find out. But
Donovan Jackson as well.
That's the key one, I think.
The thing with that game plan was the way the Green Bay Packers are playing. If you play mistake-free football, you can kick your way to victory against them. We've seen it twice this season already at Lambeau. And Will Reichard, fantastic, automatic from nearly 60 yards. That was good for another 5 yards, that longest field goal. You can't convince me otherwise. And it was right down the middle. Thing of beauty. I just thought the game plan was fine. If you don't have that Miles Price muff pump, which I get what he was trying to do, but there has to be a point where you have to go.
No one gets what he was trying to do.
No, it's so unfair. It's so unfair calling that a muff punt. Like
it is technically a muff punt.
I know it is, but like
in the letter of the law, it's a muff punt.
Yeah,
he goes to block,
but that's why it's unfair.
But your Miles Price, your short receiver who's nippy, good at bouncing off tackles and going, you're not going to block a gunner who's coming at you full pelt with his one job when that ball is bouncing and checking up towards you. His job is to push you into it, and he did it. And I know Price is thinking, I want to stop him from getting the ball because it's a touchback, but he can't see what's going on behind him. The ball's bouncing towards him. One shove, there you go, muff punt. If that doesn't happen, we get the ball back. We're down 10-6. Who's saying we can't kick another field goal? Who's saying maybe if we? I mean, I don't understand the TJ Hockenson QB sneak. Maybe if we kick that one, it's 10-9 at halftime. Then get that ball back and go down the field.
But this is what I mean.
It's a thing. It would have worked if we played mistake-free football.
But the whole game pivoted on that moment. You could just see everyone go.
I think it was.
It is so deflating, and it's not. So it's not even.
We felt out the game as soon as they scored that second touchdown as well. There was like no faith that JJ McCarthy was going to be able to lead us back from being a second touchdown down.
And no
you know
faith.
What's funny?
Go on.
He had if you take out the interceptions, his passer rating would have been 73.8. He ended up with 34.2,
which is lower than throwing the ball into the ground every single play.
Yeah, it's so bad.
Yeah, but again, it's not like I don't think he was terrible last night. He was just slow and not confident. That's what I
terrible.
Took out last night.
Slow quarterback play kills you. We talked about Sam Darnold holding the ball for too long last season, and that was behind a bad offensive line. He was holding the ball for 20 seconds because he was running away for 18 seconds. But JJ McCarthy's holding the ball for 6 seconds and getting sacked because
it really frustrates me that we don't seem to know how to throw quick passes anymore. Though, like we had. I think I've brought it up on the podcast before. Like I remember when we had Sam Bradford as our quarterback, and we built the offense and the game plan around around getting the ball out of his hands quickly because we knew he wasn't going to get a lot of protection, and he ended up with, like, at least for one season, the highest ever completion percentage.
We started 5-0
in NFL history. Yeah. Like Drew Brees overtook him for completion percentage the following year, but like when you've got a quarterback who's low on confidence, you've got to give him the opportunities to complete these passes. And I don't know where that was last night.
I'm gonna dismiss that though, Tom. I'm gonna not because you're not right, but this notion that we need to give him short passes to make him more confident. If you watch JJ McCarthy play for Michigan, what JJ McCarthy excelled at more than anyone else was the short pass game. It wasn't to give him confidence. That's his game. The problem is we've got Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson who go all the way down. They're already out of his range. And then we've got Adam Thielen who couldn't
Not
catch a cold. And
I thought that the talk about JJ McCarthy was that he had a gun arm.
He's got a gun
got
on
a
him.
fast
He can
arm.
throw that. He can throw that ball very far if he wants to. He can hit the deep ball. We saw him do it against Detroit. His best passes are the ones that are 15 to 20 yards up the field, down the middle. He's great.
He's
at
a game
that.
manager.
And the way he can zip the ball is fantastic, and he can do it off play action. He comes from a run first system in Michigan, and that was my biggest concern about drafting him was that this is not a run first system, and it needs to be one. It's everything Kevin O'Connell believes against as a former quarterback, as a play caller. He wants.
Funnily
to pass
enough,
the ball,
though.
but,
Funnily enough, though, he did actually call, I think, his second highest percentage of designed runs in the first half of yesterday's game.
And look how miserable everyone was for it. Absolutely miserable.
Well, it was better than the second half.
I was sorry. I was fine with the I was fine with the first
better than
half.
the second half.
I came in.
That's what I mean.
I felt we're in this game. I genuinely thought we're in this game. We can still kick our way to victory, get a couple of stops, get a couple of field goals. I honestly thought we could have pitched a shutout in the second half, or at least held them to 2 field goals.
So I'll go back to my original point. It's a mess. This is a problem. The organization is a mess because we've drafted a quarterback who can't play Kevin O'Connell's system. In fact, I don't think any rookie could play Kevin O'Connell's system because it's so complicated and advanced. You need someone who's had 4 or 5 seasons in the NFL. Drake May is on
I think
fire.
Drake May could have. I think if you look at, anyone else in that draft, I think Caleb Williams would have struggled considering they were running, get ready, set, go cadence in his first season. Jaden Daniels, another one, exceptional young quarterback, just had terrible lot of injuries this season. And Bo Nix is showing that he can execute a system if you need him to execute a system.
Yeah, but there's executing a system and there's building a system around Matt Stafford levels of quarterback play. And we haven't got Matt Stafford levels of quarterback play. None of the rookies in his class are Matt Stafford levals of quarterback play. You either have to be Carlo Ancelotti.
Can I interject there? So the 3 worst quarterbacks in terms of passer rating through their first 6 career starts among active quarterbacks are Jared Goff, JJ McCarthy, and worst, Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, but Matthew Stafford, by the time they designed that system, was 10 years into the league. That's what I mean.
You can't draft someone who's 10 years into the league.
So we're a bit of a mess because that's what we've done.
The Vikings don't know how to develop a quarterback. Now, we haven't done it since. Who was
Teddy.
the last one? Who was
Teddy? And even that didn't really.
He never
go
got much development though. He was in the league for like 3 years before he did his knee.
But it was going in the right direction, and that's the thing with the whole Teddy thing. And
I mean, his knee wasn't.
The first season wasn't great. Second season, playoffs. Third season, didn't happen. And that was the Sam Bradford year. And then that would have probably been a disaster with Teddy anyway, because Mike Zimmer punched a coordinator. Sorry, allegedly punched a coordinator.
Is this like the Jeremy Clarkson story?
I mean, there was a fracas when we were 5-0.
And again, I'll come back to it again because we've all got a slightly different opinion. We've all got a slightly different take. But I think what we can all agree on is it's a mess. It's an absolute mess, top to bottom. Special teams have been awful. We can't design or can't adapt to a quarterback who can't play the system that he has drilled into the team for the last 4 seasons. Kwesi hasn't managed to draft well enough for the past 4 seasons, so our depth is really bad. The Wilfs are looking at this and want to stay competitive, but also want to learn at this. It's just everything about it is a mess. And I said it a couple of podcasts ago. I don't know what our identity is because the one that we want it to be, we can't play. So now we're going, well, what's plan B? And no one's got a plan B. The defense is on the field too long, so people are starting to criticize them, even though Dallas Turner this year has been a diamond in the rough. Loads of good stats. We still can't win a game.
He's been forced to develop because he's been thrown in when Gink and Granada have been out. But
I also want to point out on that Gink and Granada. Have you noticed Dallas Turner off of the Granada side? Fantastic player, and that's the side he played off of in college. He's also got as many sacks coming in 2 games off that right hand side as Grenard has all season. Now Grenard has had pressure after pressure after pressure, so I'm not slating Jonathan Grenard. It's just been a case of we just haven't been able to get the sacks this year. we haven't been able to get the sacks this year. Team-wide problem, just haven't been able to get the quarterback, haven't been able to turn the ball over. Loads of issues on defense. But the development we wanted to see from our first round pick in JJ McCarthy, we're seeing in Dallas Turner. He looks better in the run, even though he is still getting run over sometimes because teams, let's face it, they are going to target him because he's not a free down defensive end. He's an edge rusher for second and long and third down plays. He's going to get run over, but I think he's been improving steadily. And if you put him in a gap in the middle as well, that's the one thing I've noticed. Is if you put him in a gap on the inside of the offensive, in the inside of the opposition's offensive line, he will do a job and stuff a one-on-one hole. He's been really improving.
I enjoyed that. Yeah, I tell you, I think again,
and that 25-minute segment was our knee-jerk reactions.
I think, and even we're a mess because they're a mess. We have to be a mess. But what I'm going to do is, sorry, TPJ, I'm going to drop a bomb on your schedule.
No, do it.
Because I think what we do have to talk about now is, what do we do? What do we do next? I've been listening to podcasts all day. Loads of people have got opinions. Someone has suggested that Aaron Rodgers starts for us next year. I immediately turn that off. But I think what we do have to think about is next year, if JJ McCarthy plays the end of this season, you go, all right, he's had a full season now. We have an off season. We've got loads and loads of drafts picks for no apparent reason. And then we go into next year with a shiny new team, loads of new drafts, and JJ McCarthy goes 2-6. Does Kevin O'Connell keep his job? Does Kwesi keep his job? Do we blow it all up? What happens to JJ McCarthy? Does he have a career in football? And we're asking these questions now. So what happens in the off season? Because Kevin O'Connell's going to sit there and go, I quite like this job and I don't want to lose it. And the problem if I give him a start, he might lose me my job. So does he go, he can't play my system, I need to get someone else in? And do we trade a second round draft pick for Mac Jones? Or do we draft another quarterback and start again? What happens from now? TPJ, I'm going to come to you first. What do we do next season?
Well, looking at the list of quarterbacks who are available for next season, like Daniel Jones is obviously the cream of the crop in terms of impending free agents, but he's going to cost like $40 million a year. And I don't think he'd come back to us. I think the Colts would probably just give him the money. If they can. I don't know what their cap room is like, but I think if Kevin O'Connell wants to keep his job past 2026, he needs to show a bit of flexibility, like adapt his system to the players he has. Obviously, like bring in players who he thinks will adapt to the system he wants to play, but think about the system you want to play first. Based on the players you've got, I mean, like that has to be the first thought. When you've got two, like you've got running backs 1A and 1B in Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason, and you've got a quarterback who thrives on like the dink and dunk type stuff, thrives in a system that is run first. Just play that. As like to coin a phrase, run the damn ball.
So you're stick with JJ McCarthy?
I think you have to, because what are the options for next season? I don't think you draft another guy, because I don't think. I mean, I'm not really a college guy, but I don't know what the prospects are like for next season. I don't think there's anyone. It's not as good as 2 years ago when you had May, Nix, McCarthy, Penix, and Caleb Williams. No, it's not a good class this coming year. So you kind of have to roll with the best option you've got. And hopefully that's McCarthy, if they can find a system that works for him.
Reece, colours to the mast.
Kwesi needs to be more conservative. And by that, I mean, granted, everyone was behind JJ McCarthy. But if you look at the production of Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave this season, and offset against what would have been Sam Darnold's franchise tag penalty, could have done that, would have been fine. Wouldn't need to have got rid of Phillips in that case. Wouldn't needed, with the way that Jalen Redmond's come along and Levi Drake Rodriguez, your run defense is stout. You could have got away with probably bringing one or two rotational pass rushing pieces rather than having 60 million worth tied up in defensive tackles that just can't stop getting run over by second string running backs. So I want Kwesi to be a bit more conservative next time the opportunity presents itself. It doesn't have to be this off season, but he just wants to be a case of, well, no, hang on, let's make sure we keep this person in the building.
Reece says, what are we doing in 2026? This isn't a filibust until we forget the question.
But
what are we going to do in 2026?
2026, Kevin O'Connell needs to get with the times. He needs to look around the league. It's a copycat league, and everyone's running the ball these days. Everyone is running the ball. And we've got 2 great running backs. We've got an offensive line that's turning into the purple people movers. I mean, I was, until they, with the injuries, both got hurt. I was loving the Darisaw Jackson combination on that left-hand side that could move anyone. If you wanted to run that ball to the left-hand side, go. Just literally, just effectively, every running play down that to the left-hand side looked like a screen. It was fantastic. Lean into that, because you've got, big meaty men slapping meat is the old WWE saying, and that's what you've got. You've got big guys who are just moving people out of the way, and it's the way that you need to go. You need to get with the times. You need to run the ball more. And if you haven't got a quarterback that can, or if you've got any doubt in JJ McCarthy, you need to have a serious, and I think you have to do this regardless. You have to have a serious quarterback competition in the offseason. Whether that's Max Brosma, because Max Brosma might come into the next couple of games with JJ McCarthy in concussion protocol and look really good. And if he does, then that's your quarterback battle. Or you have to look for someone who's more of a rotational piece, the typical Minnesota quarterback that comes in, the guy trying to revive his career, and you have a genuine quarterback battle. And if JJ McCarthy wins that, then so be it. But you need to make sure that we are competitive.
Who are the quarterbacks who could? No, go on.
No, because you can't afford to piss away Justin Jefferson's best years. You can't afford to waste the last year of Jordan Addison on the rookie contract. Hawkinson's going to get more expensive. He's getting older. Aaron Jones is getting older. I don't know what Jordan Mason's contract is, if he's not already down for a couple more years or not. He's got 2 years, so that's coming to an end. You need to have something that can deliver next season, because all this is going to get very expensive very fast, and you're going to have to get rid of a lot of this talent in a couple of years' time. So you've got to find a way of getting yourself a competitive quarterback next season.
Mason's got another year left, and then he's got 3 reasonably cheap void years.
Yeah.
Void years don't mean he's on the team, though.
Yeah. My 2026 plan, as we stand right now, is Kevin O'Connell hires a better, near better, a good offensive coordinator and gives up play calling. Kevin O'Connell is a leader of men, a stubborn, egotistical leader of men. So he needs to do something which is almost against what every fiber of his being is saying. And he needs to change, because to save your job and throw JJ McCarthy under a bus doesn't sit well with me, especially as I spent $160 on a JJ McCarthy jersey. So I'd quite like him to be in the building for at least one more year. But I do think that he's not the type of quarterback to run a Kevin O'Connell offense, and then therefore the offense has got to change. I don't want to see Kevin O'Connell gone, because, like I say, I think he's an exceptional leader of men. He's got great ideas. He can galvanize a team, but he can't galvanize it the way he's doing at the minute, because people are looking and saying, what are we doing? This is a mess. So that's my 2026 plan. I said it a couple of podcasts ago. I'm going to butcher his name again. Brian
Daboll.
Yes, that's the one. Just give him a call. See what he's doing. See if he fancies it.
I'm just going to say Daboll relinquished his own play calling duties. It's usually the sign of the end for a head coach when he gives up play calling. It's usually a case of, I'm running out of ideas. I'm going to give someone else a go here. And if it doesn't improve, they get fired. However, you spent $160 on what?
On a JJ McCarthy jersey.
Week 2, right?
When I was at the bank, they ran out. I
have a new 2026 strategy. You only wear the shirts of veteran players and get rid of any other shirt that
retired
you own.
Players.
just
grief.
retired. Yeah, retired. I mean, because I'm sure you've been wearing a feeling jersey this season as well, and that's why you can't catch
I
a
don't
cold
own a
anymore.
feeling jersey. I don't.
Okay, so you're fine there.
Oh my
But I mean,
days.
stick to the edges.
I'll take responsibility. Like, I should have stopped him.
You should have stopped him. You should have gone. You should have.
I was there and I did
"No."
nothing. It was. I was in shock. It was the
you could have
standby,
just,
the bystander effect.
you could have
I
just
thought
gone.
someone would stop him.
You could have just gone. Rich, I know that's great, but you could get yourself a custom Tavernier Thomas jersey because he couldn't have played any worse this season. So you jinxed him, might have made him good.
They really tried as well. They'd run out of all of the sizes, all of the large JJ McCarthy winter whiteout jerseys. They'd completely run out. But because Tom managed to collar the merchandise like director of the Vikings whilst we were walking around the shop, she went and printed me one. So
now you've thrown me under the bus because it turns out that I'm actually responsible for this.
So, yeah, new plan: burn your passports. It's
so we're all in on 2026.
I've never seen the Vikings lose outside the UK except when Rich has been there.
I still find this blame throwing a bit nonsensical. Let's move on. So we're all in on JJ McCarthy in 2026. We want to see Max Brosner throw the ball around this weekend, not because we want to necessarily see JJ McCarthy benched, but for his own good. Let's keep him on the sidelines until his brain is all healed again. The next thing we're going to do is talk about Thanksgiving. Again, I got the date wrong, which I apologize to all of our American watchers. The American Thanksgiving is in November. They hold it in very high regard, higher than any Christmas or anything like that. We're going to go around. What are we thankful for, either this season or just in general? Let's bring some positivity to the Vikings stewardship. TPJ, I'm coming to you first. What are you thankful for this year?
Well, we've talked about him a lot already on this show, but I'm very, very thankful for Will the Thrill Rijkaard, because he is just keeping the scoreboard ticking over as much as he's able to do, within reason. He's knocking them over from 50 plus, seemingly with no particular issue, and I'm just very thankful that we drafted him before anyone else got to him, because when you have a chance to get the all-time highest point scorer in CFB history, I think that's like he is that, isn't he? Yeah. So
yeah.
When you have a chance to get him, you go out and get him, because we haven't had a reliable kicker in flipping years.
Flipping years, well used there. Reece, I'm going to cut because I think I don't think we need to comment on that. We're all very, very thankful for Will the Thrill Rijkaard. Reece, what are you thankful for this year?
What am I thankful for? Let's see. I'm thankful for when I'm wrong, because I said who drafted kicker, and I was wrong about that. So yeah, glad about that one. Personal level, I'm grateful for my, thankful for my wonderful fiance. It's actually our anniversary on Thanksgiving, so I'm very thankful for that. And from a Vikings point of view, I'm thankful for Jalen Redmond, because what a diamond in the rough that man is. Okay, you come and you look at any game where the Vikings don't look like they're playing well on defense. They're getting run all over. But then you look for any splash play. Where do the splash plays come from? Number 61 every time. And I am thankful that we snapped him up out of the UFL. One of 3 players, I think, from the UFL that have sort of cemented themselves into NFL rosters as a defensive tackle from the Cowboys. I can't remember his name. And also Jake Bates, the kicker from Detroit. They're 3 guys who have, cement themselves at the staple. So I'm grateful for the UFL and the opportunities it gives to players who maybe thought their last shot was up.
That's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. What have I got to be thankful for? I'm going to get a little bit soppy. Last night I was asked by the UK Vikings media agency if I could take part in like a Gogglebox bit of content, which meant that the people that were sitting down to watch the game had to watch the game from the start till the finish. And this was the last night, despite the horrible scenes that unfolded in front of us. I watched my first ever full game of football with Billy Dawson last night, which was just something to put in the record books, something to sit down and be thankful for. He asked some great questions last night. First question was, if the centre snaps the ball to the quarterback, why can't he just run forward and then the quarterback pass the ball to the centre? Great question for a 7-year-old. That would be a legal man downfield. Unfortunately, mate, the offensive line is not allowed to catch the ball, but good question. And then he said, why can't the quarterback just snap the ball from the centre and then throw it really far to a wide receiver and we get a touchdown? And I went, I don't know why we don't do that either. So it was nice. I had to ply him with game snacks. He was under the strict instructions that he could have one snack per quarter. So he was happy to stay. And I was also thankful Howard came around last night. What a great guy Howard is. And we both got to watch the game as the three amigos. It was a terrible game of football, absolutely horrible. But thankful to be in good company. And always, I've been to 2 watch parties this year. We're going to have another one for the Commanders. I've been to the London game. I've been to the Dublin game. I've been to a game in Minnesota. Just thankful to be in very good company at all times when discussing, watching, and enduring the Minnesota Vikings. So yeah, thankful to everyone.
I just want to add one more thing. I'm thankful for both sides. Well, both sides like last night for running the ball as much as they did to make that as quick as possible. That was a quick game of football.
It was a quick game. It was a very quick game. Good grief.
It was. I'll give you that. Yeah, and also lots of fantasy points, so can't complain. Apart from, I managed to get 135 points in one of my fantasy teams this week, with Jordan Addison on the team, who got 0 points. So quite thankful for. I think it was Tracy. I had to start Tracy running back from the Giants because A-Chain was on a bye. So yeah, it was thankful for that. I don't know what we're going to talk about now. What we rolling into? Oh, we've got a game
next week.
Probably should preview that. It's a late kickoff. Well, late for us. 9:05. 9:05.
Yeah, 9:05.
PM.
Yeah, the Fox games. The Fox games in the late window usually kick off at 9:05. CBS is usually 9:25. We don't know whether we're going to be on Sky yet, but I would imagine because there's only 3 games in that sort of 9 p.m. window, we will be on Sky.
Are we not on? We're not on 5, are we? 5 action.
We could be. I mean, it might even be like the main 5 game, but that will all be in our preview article, which should come out on Thursday or Friday. So if you're listening to this in the future, which obviously you are, check out ukvikingsfans.co.uk and check out our weekly preview articles for all of your info about injury reports, how to watch the game, previous clashes between the 2 teams. It's all there for you, and if it isn't there, let me know and I'll put it in the next one.
It has been a sort of a stalwart of my season this year to read that article to make sure I get the right jersey to wear. Get the right jersey to wear. Understand what channel I can watch the team on. What time to tell Lauren.
Random Sky channel. Yeah, I was going to say the random Sky channel we're on.
It was weird that it was on Sky Sports Football yesterday.
Weird.
They're adapting. They're adapting.
But I mean, more to the point, Super Sammy Darnold, we're going to walk into his arena at the weekend. Are we looking forward to it? Do we still hold Super Sammy Darnold in high regard? Do we clap him? Do we boo him? Do we want him to do well in the future? Do we care? What's the score going to be? Reece, I'm coming to you first. What are your feelings on the game?
I'll be honest. When we went into this recording, I didn't know JJ McCarthy was in concussion protocol. So I was thinking the worst going into this week, to be honest. Fantastic Steelers, fantastic Seahawks defense. Sam Darnold playing like a man possessed, who's worth 100 million contract bargain. The way he's playing at the moment, unless he's playing against LA, it's as tough as it gets. I love Sam Darnold. That season was magical. Yes, it came crashing down, but that's just Vikings football. Everything has to come crashing down to reality in one way or another. And the higher the highs, the lower the lows. We've learned that. We learned that even more this season. I just want it to be competitive. I want to see what Brosman's made of. I'd love to see Max get a passing touchdown in the NFL. I'd love it. I would love it, as a Gophers fan, to see him taking a step to the Minnesota Vikings. Man, but I just feel like that Seahawks team is too good. Too good. So I'm going to go with the Seahawks putting up 31 and the Minnesota Vikings. I'm going to say I'm thinking we'll still move the ball, but 23. I reckon
23.
there's a couple of scores in there, but I reckon few will the thrill kicks and a couple of touchdowns.
So wait, who's on 23?
Vikings 23.
Okay.
And the
Got to write it down.
Seahawks 31. Yeah. Sorry, yeah, you got to write it down.
20. Okay, so 23-31. Cool.
23-31. TPJ, any advance on 23-31?
I think that the Seahawks are going to get at least 35. I'm going to go 38. 38 for the Seahawks and 16 for the Vikings.
Wow. I think this has been one of the most unpredictable, stupid seasons in the NFL that I have witnessed to date. I think Jackson, Smith, and Jigba against our secondary is the stuff of nightmares. I think it's going to be. I also think Sam Darnold is going to get the wobblies because he is susceptible to nerves, and if this game coming up against your former team, he might have some flashbacks. I do think it could just be weird. I think I'm going to put it out there. It's going to be a weird game. And I'm going to go, the Vikings are going to go to Seattle and win that game 34 points to 31 in a stupid shootout. Because it'd be the most Vikings thing ever. One, to win a game, the way we're playing this season. And two, Max Brosma absolutely balls out and gives us one of the most stupid decisions that we've got to make now until the end of the season and into next year. It just throws another curveball into what is an already ridiculous season. 34-31 Vikings.
Just wait for it. Jack Wolford's going to start, and we're just all going to be peed off.
And we will have no points. Yeah, it'll be. It could be a. It's just going to be. I've no idea what's going to happen this weekend. I'm back in positive mode because negativity is a choice with the Vikings. So I'm choosing to be positive. 34 points to 31. Reece, I think that probably brings us about to the time where you have to do the important things.
Yep. I think the Just Giving is still open. So if it is, go donate there. justgiving.com/page/the purple pedal, where all-round nice guy Vice President John McDonald cycled from Dublin to London to raise money for Mind. Yeah, applause there
Very
for John.
impressive.
And then, all the important stuff. Check out Facebook for the events, which will be linked, I'm sure, on a website article as well on ukvikingsfans.com.
.co.uk.
.co.uk. Yes, we're at .co.uk. How dare I? We were once .com, and then
like a big glass of milk. How dare he?
Yeah. Hi. And then it's just, I nearly responded in the wrong language there. So I'm going to move on. So if you
we're on all the socials.
We're on all the socials. Everything you do. If you found this, then you found the link in the bio of the podcast quite easily, I'm sure, where you can find everything. So do that because, you guys just have ruined this spiel for me just by not doing it in previous weeks while I'm not here.
It's the most low effort part of the show.
It is so low effort, and I often forget it and have to make it up as I go along.
We've got to pad these things out to an hour somehow.
Yeah.
Well, it says we've hit 1 hour on the recording. I know we've got
no, because you had a fluff at the start.
We got Rich's. Hang on. What now? We got family show, Thomas.
It wasn't me.
Yeah, so we're on the socials. Obviously, if you're finding us on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and comment because that helps other people listen to our drivel every week. It's been fun. Like Reece says, this is an excellent source of therapy every single week with two sometimes like-minded individuals. One thing we all definitely do have in common is that we love the Vikings and we just want them to succeed. So please start playing well. That would make us all feel a lot healthier. I think that's about it. I think we've all got to say thank you very much for listening. One final thing, please say goodbye, gentlemen.
Goodbye, gentlemen.
Goodbye, gentlemen.
Goodbye, gentlemen, indeed. Thank you very much for listening. Cheers.
Cheers.
Ta-ra.
Ta-ra.
Ta-ra. Da-da-da.